In the current gaming landscape, it's become a predictable tradition. A new hero-themed shooter drops and the internet immediately sharpens its knives. Flame culture has turned the launch of any live service shooter into a gladiatorial arena where with mostly negative Steam reviews are the default weapon of choice. Highguard is the latest to find itself in the crosshairs, and while it isn't the criminal disaster the more vitriolic threads would have you believe, the community's scepticism isn't entirely without merit. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, Highguard is a triumph of presentation. The game is a 10 out of 10 across the board for its environmental art. The levels look stunning, blending a fantasy industrial art direction that feels ripped straight out of the latest expensive Magic the Gathering booster pack. The character designs are sharp and feature high quality assets, but they do feel pulled from a top 10 hero shooter concepts mood board. The game shines brightest in its cinematic flair. There's a genuine sense of scale when a siege tower slams into a shield wall, a moment clearly reminiscent of the epic battle for Wakanda in Infinity War. It's in these flashes of spectacle that you see the game's potential. However, the beauty is skin deep. Despite the high tier art, the maps are widely indistinct from one another, making the world feel like a collection of gorgeous but soulless dioramas with destructibility that essentially amounts to destructible wall panels. Unfortunately, the cookie cutter accusations found in the Steam comments do carry weight. Playing Highguard feels like navigating a distilled amalgamation of Rainbow Six, Apex Legends and Overwatch. It functions but it lacks a distinct heartbeat. The gunplay is fine but it suffers from one fatal flaw, a total lack of tactile feedback. Kills are often punctuated with a flat, oh he's dead realisation rather than a satisfying visual or auditory marker on which to stake your ego. Character powers feel equally impotent, lacking the visual flair or auditory oomph required to make you feel like a powerful warden. It's the biggest issue with Highguard, however, as it currently stands, is in the core 3v3 game mode. It's an absolute mess of ideas. Putting 6 players on maps this large is a bizarre design choice that creates a massive disconnect, turning what should effectively be short intense rounds of push-pull into relatively long pauses as you wait to respawn or desperately gallop across the barren landscape trying to make some sort of an impact on the team fight. The disparate nature of events across this scale of map makes any kind of tangible flow impossible to spot, even if the horses are a cool touch and do make getting around a lot easier. You can spend minutes in a 1v1 skirmish in the outfield, thinking you're contributing to the win, only to realise an enemy player simply walked past a distraction to activate a siege tower. It's a game where individual skill feels isolated rather than impactful. While Highguard isn't the slop fest that most extreme critics claim, it plays fine and is technically competent. However, the mostly negative sentiment on Steam correctly identifies a game that lacks an identity and satisfying feedback loops. It certainly has the presentation of a AAA titan and there is potential beneath the generic elements, but as much as I love an underdog and really wanted the internet to be wrong about this one, I can't help but feel that Highguard comes with the hollow resonance of a game that doesn't yet know what it wants to be. It's still early days for this one, so here's to hoping that the devs work on the main game mode. The bones are certainly there, but there's a lot more work to be done if this one's going to make it.